Hello everyone, Ross is back with another creepy reading. Sorry for it being zoomed out and also standing up. I'm suffering from some problems right now. But I'm back with the tablet of the Wii U controller. Well, yeah, I call it a tablet because it does the same thing like a tablet. But this controller does a good job with the reading. And I'm going to be reading a creepypasta story called Daddy's Little Angel. She had her mother's bright blue eyes, Daddy's little angel does, and the most beautiful smile you have ever seen. Question, does it beat my smile? She could melt an iceberg. That's some strong smiling or some bad breath. She could. Everyone that knows her just loves her to death. Okay? And I'm so proud to call myself her father. She's a gift from above, I know it, which is why I must protect her, no matter what the cost. Yeah, like most parents with their kids. Well, there's some parents who are complete jerks, but yeah, there's most parents will do want to protect their child. Some people just don't understand. I just said most people care about their kids enough that they will protect them no matter what. I've heard stories of mothers lifting cars to get their child from underneath it. It all started a couple weeks ago. Some nasty little girl was teasing Katie, my little angel. So his daughter's name's Katie, okay? And she wasn't leaving her alone. Of course. It's called bullying. It's common. She was saying nasty things, saying how poor she was, and saying that she was dirty and such. Yeah, it's called bullying. I know how it is. They'll use whatever cheap tactic to get a rouse out of the person. She just had the filthiest mouth. Little girls shouldn't be so nasty. Yeah, that'll be when they go to high school where they're really nasty. And when I mean that, I mean how they speak. And then when they go to college, they're even worse. And when they're out of college, you just want to get a good bar of soap and shove it down their throat. What's one of the things they say based on how this guy is speaking. Well, she followed Katie home that day, throwing dirt at her and telling her that to take a bath in it. Well, my Katie's shown her what's what. Yes, she did. Okay, now I'm afraid. And Daddy couldn't be more proud. I didn't think anyone should hurt a child, even if they didn't mean it. Don't get me wrong, but Katie never did anything to anyone, and I love her to death. What did she do? Is she a normal kid, or is this guy just a few screw looses? You gotta understand. I was only being a lovely father when I hid the body. Okay, who killed the girl? His daughter is a psychopath and his dad's more in denial. Okay, I'm scared. You see, we live in a very rural area, and that nasty mouth little girl clearly had no business following my Katie in the first place. I know no one would understand, and I just can't let anything happen to my little angel. His daughter murdered someone. How old is this this psychopath? Of course, that's when my wife came home, and I saw that our little girl had a few bruises. So at least the bully tried to fight back. Can you believe she actually glared at me? Yeah. You were supposed to watch your daughter. Your wife would get angry. As if I ever so much think of hurting my little girl. Based on how you're acting, I'm pretty sure this is a warped sense of humor of Hughes. Full Metal Alchemist joke if y'all get it, thank you. Of course, I was upset. But this sweetheart that she is, Kate set her on track sure enough. She killed her! How is it setting her on track if she's dead? She told her how that filthy little girl harassed her and wouldn't leave her be. And I tell you, that lit my wife right up. She was so angry, I had to restrain her. Okay, this guy really needs some help. I think either he's been a lobotomy person or this guy is really a retard. And I don't care, bleak PC. And I tell you, she was going to call her parents then and there. It was 9 in the evening. Okay, why would she call her parents? I'm questioning. Well, I finally talked her down, even though she was furious with me. That I hadn't handled it sooner. Well, no, I'm afraid. Of course, by then she just didn't trust me to settle it, no matter what I told her. I said, I, I'll do it first thing after work. The next day, but no. What? Okay, I'm missing something. She insists she call them herself the next day. Even Katie pleaded with her not to call her parents. What? What is the big deal about her parents? What, are they police officers? She said she'll be so embarrassed at school if everyone found out. She ran home and told Mommy. What? That she murdered someone? Okay, I'm confused and scared. Of course, we both knew we couldn't explain that filthy little girl had gone missing after their little scuffle. Now, could we? I mean, she's my wife and I love her, but she just wouldn't understand. What is this, in the reverse 1950s house husband? But she just sent Katie straight up to her bed and wouldn't hear another word from me on the matter. Her mind was made up. She was a very headstrong woman. It's part of her charm, you see. So there's no arguing with her once she made up her mind on the matter. What the hell is with this guy? Okay, this is weird. I'm a little questioning. Their daughter's a psychopath for some apparent reason, murdered someone, and his wife wants to call her parents for what reason? Well, after that, I went to tuck my little angel in and read her a bedtime story, and she begged me not to let Mommy call that filthy girl's parents. I thought it was calling her parents. Okay, now I'm getting. It's not her grandparents. That's what I kept thinking. How it said, it sounded like her parents, but it was the bully's parents. Now that makes sense. But I told her how persistent Mommy is, and that she wouldn't listen to me. Of course, that didn't sit well with Katie at all. She knew that Mommy wouldn't understand, and neither would her schoolmates. Mommies. No, especially not her. I told Katie I would think of something, and I promised that I wouldn't let anything happen to her. But Daddy's little angel is clever. Daddy's little angel already made up her mind. I should have understood. Okay, bye-bye, Mommy. Katie's on a killing rampage. The next day, I came home to see my wife laying at the bottom of the stairs in a crumpled, bloody heap. What, did she push her down the steps or she butchered her before pushing her down? There was so much blood, and it had long since dried in the carpet when I got home. So how long was he gone? A few hours? Half a day? She had never made it to work that morning. The official story was that she has taken a nasty fall down the stairs and cracked her head open like an egg on her tumble. On her thumble? Oh, on her thumble, sorry. I think I'm dyslexic again. So the fall from the stairs cracked her skull open. But as I look into Katie's eyes, so empty, so emotionless, no! Daddy's little angel didn't hurt anyone. That didn't try to hurt her first. She's special. What the fuck? This guy's... Okay. Anyhow, there was a funeral and the whole family showed up. Katie couldn't have been more bored. She just sat there, staring into nothingness as the eulogy was given. When it came time to view the corpse, she barely gave it a glance. Because she's a sociopath and a psychopath. Okay, I may have screwed up the term sociopath, but she is a psychopath. I like to think she's coping with the loss her own way. Your daughter's effed up in the skull. Daddy's little angel loved her Mommy more than anything. Then why did she push her down the steps, killing her? It was just before the burial the next day as the investigators showed up at the door. It was Katie that answered. As I rushed to get ready, I rushed to the door as this man was questioning my little girl. Gently scooting Katie out of the way, I stepped up to the door. May I help you? I asked, trying to sound polite. This guy must be on some really good drugs because I want some of his crap. I need to ask you some questions about the circumstances about your wife's death, the investigator asks. Dude, you're about to die. I've seen this cliche in stories. You're the guy who's going to get killed off to keep the secret shut. Who are you? I think some of my frustration was coming through, but it might have been my self-conscience. I'm sorry, he said with a laugh. Detective Kimball, local PD, and the next dead guy to show up. I just got the results back from the autopsy, and the blunt trauma your wife suffered and the blood stains found on the carpet don't exactly match up. I was wondering if you can give me a little bit more insight. Yeah, my little girl pushed her mother down the steps, and I'm pretty sure she stabbed her a few times, just swinging in the dark. Well, I'd love to, detective, but I was told the responding officers I only found the body when I came home from work. I wasn't here to see it happen. The detective tried to speak again, I think, but I cut him off. Frustration was filling me. If you excuse me, we have a burial to attend. Okay, don't burials and funerals go together? I'm sorry, I don't understand funeral rules. Last one I went to was a cremation one. I glanced back to see that the detective was watching me as we drove away. Katie was silent the entire trip there and back. And as soon as we got home, she retreated to her room. The poor baby had it rough. All this death surrounding her. Yeah, because she's a psychopath. I would say lock her up. Send her to a freaking mental institution. Tell the police, but this guy is so drugged up on something. I shampooed the carpet the best I could get the stains out, and I fixed up dinner for us. We ate in silence, and it filled me more with pain to see her suffering. Suffering? She's trying not to get caught, so more likely once she's not caught, she'll be all happy. I never forget. Just before she got up to take her plate to the sink, she looked at me and smiled so softly. Oh, my little angel has the sweetest smile you ever did see. Yep. Can I get to your doctor for these drugs? A couple of days had passed, and I thought things were getting back to normal. Well, as normal as they could be, without my beautiful wife to come home to when it happened. You see, I rushed home each day to meet Katie as she was coming in from school. But yesterday, I was lost in thought and took my time getting home, you see. The day before, my wife's sister suggested that she should come over and bring Katie's cousin to visit. I couldn't refuse, so I had to get in the mindset. I had to show her we were coping. Okay, so your wife's sister suggesting the help with the coping mechanism. It's understandable, but this guy is so drugged out on whatever he's on, he's too much oblivious to this, and his daughter is too much of a psychopath, and I'm pretty sure not enough drugs would fix that, and only a mental institution would help. The house was quiet when I got there, but it wasn't so unusual, as Daddy's little angel tended to keep to herself and spend most of her time in her room playing with her dollhouse. She was always so clean and always so quiet. I couldn't have asked for a better little girl. I walked up to check Katie's room. It was empty. Then I proceeded to check the rest of the house, and I found her nowhere, until I came to the door leading to the cellar. Odd, it was cracked. I pushed it open, started down the steps. I could see the light spilling across the floor at the bottom of the staircase, illuminating a small puddle of blood just a foot from the bottom step. Please tell me she fell down the steps and died. Please, 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 please. Just hand me the gun, said a voice said softly. Son of a bitch! More likely she got the police officer, tied him up, and wants to shoot him. I'll get you out of here. Take you somewhere safe. Sorry, I rushed down the stairs and found Katie standing a mere 2 feet away from Detective Kimball. Oh, for fuck's sakes! Who sat bound with rope and bleeding from the head. How the hell did Katie get the cop captured? What the hell? We don't know how old Katie is, but I'm guessing at least around 5th grade to 1st. And she was able to take out a police detective? I approached my daughter and eased the gun from her hands as the detective seemed to eye me with the most dreadful gaze anyone has ever given me in my life. Yeah, it's the, get me out of here, you sick freak! I'm about to get killed by a little kid! I took the gun I took the gun in my hands, and I was surprised how natural it felt. Oh, for freak's sakes, the dad's a psychopath too! Though I have never held a gun in my life, the exhilaration that filled me as I lifted the gun and watched the detective's face contort in horror almost sickens me. Oh, for Lord's sakes. Why have you come? I asked him as I aimed the gun at his head. Your wife's death wasn't an accident, he replied. Not a dip, Sherlock! I was at work when it happened, and Katie was at school. It's been deemed an accident. What did you hope to find here? The coroner stated that she died in the early morning, around the same time you left for work. I loved my wife unconsciously. I began to pull the hammer back. Wait. Where did the hammer come from? If you kill me, the police will know where to look, Kimball pleaded. There's no way out of this. Do the right thing. Do it for your little girl. If only you understood. So the police detective thinks you killed your wife, and please don't do this in front of your little girl. When I think the moment he got taken out by a little girl, he would have tried to change it. I put a bullet in his head. It's all I could do. Of course, I knew he was right. I knew the cops would come soon. Looking for him, I turned to my girl. She stood staring at Kimberly, vacant, and I told her to run and get the tart from the corn. She did. Daddy's little angel is so good. She even helped me wrap the body. And I carved. What the fuck? My sister-in-law showed up that night with her husband and kid, and as she said she would, and dinner was ready by 8:30. I really think they'll love it, my new recipe. I think they'll come back for more. Holy crap, this is one effed up story. Okay, I thought this guy was just a complete drugged out idiot, but he's as fucked up in the head as anything. He so treats his daughter like nothing is wrong. His daughter is a psychotic killer who killed his wife just because she was going to tell her parents about the murder she did earlier. And he just sees like nothing is totally wrong. And now he killed the police officer, carved him up, and made chili for the family. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, oh, Lord. I want to hate this story for how stupid it seems, but it does the good job, man. Daddy's little angel is Daddy's little demon. I'm giving this a rating of an Olive Garden, in my honest opinion, but I'm pretty sure others would give me an Italy. All I can say is this story is creepy, and I'm pretty sure if Dolman was here, he would have been in a corner crying because he's now be afraid of little girls. All I can say is Rasa is signing out. I don't want to deal with